Hi everybody, welcome to starting again. Hi everybody, welcome to Grumpy Old Men. Now this is Steve Ross with an E.
Hello.
And you introduce me.
This is Tim Newton with an E.
New tone.
New tone. Yeah.
Now, let's tell people where we are. So I've got some pictures so you can see. This is literally in the middle of, well, not quite nowhere, but pretty close to it. Steve introduced me to this place. I don't even know how they got the name 076. Pretty sure you're going to tell us.
That is the phone code, the prefix. My phone is 080. Whatever your phone is, it starts with a 0. 076 is this part of Phang Nga, here in this little corner of Thai Muang. And the woman, shall I just give the background to this place? So this is owned by a woman named Si El Sakun, who, if you've been in the hotel industry in Phuket for 30 years, you would know that name. She's a wonderful, brilliant businesswoman.
Clearly.
And this is her family's land, and her mom was living here with nothing to do, so she built her a restaurant. And mom cooks here, and all the nieces and nephews wait tables here.
And mum still cooks here?
Yeah. Okay. As far as I know. And
okay.
and I mean, there's, you know, like typical, there's a bevy of aunts and nieces and moms and grannies in the kitchen. But one of them, I think, is C's mom. And they're all related in some way. And so you can see it's still, we're in a palm grove. This was a palm plantation.
Well, yes, the date palms are all nicely set out, and they've just moved a few or removed a few to sort of do the building and the tables. But it's a really, really special restaurant. I suppose a place for a coffee or a cake on a Sunday. Yeah,
or a meal. We had lunch here. It's very high-so, upscale, trendy millennial. So I think probably
high-so, upscale, trendy millennial. Okay.
Yeah. Patent.
Everything.
Copyright 2023, Steve Ross. You can't call your product that now without paying me. But the license plates, if you come here on a Sunday, the license plates are from Ranong and Khao Lak and Phang Nga and Phuket. People come a long way to have a meal here. And in the high season, in the dry season, there's a lot of sala out here with reclining cushions and things. That's all been brought in for the rainy season, but it's still a very nice kitchen. They've got wine, they've got beer, they've got spirits, they've got all kinds of really good food. So yeah, if you're in Thai Muang and you get tired of 30 baht pot Thai, you want to come out here and have something special, 076 is the name of it.
If you're driving out of Thai Muang, you're heading towards Khao Lak, and it's about 2 kilometres.
Yeah.
And you have to do a U-turn, come back, and they're a great big... Google it, 076. Yeah. You won't see it otherwise, unless you've got a helicopter.
No. She built it where her mom was living. She didn't build it where there'd be drive-by traffic or anything like that. She built it where mom was living to give mom a commercial kitchen to cook for guests, so...
And it's really upscale, a nice menu, very pleasant, and a complete surprise. And thank you for introducing me to it, as you introduced me to Thai Muang Beach, which I can't say.
It's Hot Sativ. It's Steve's Beach. I know where everything is. All 5 things that are here. I know where all 5 are.
So, really, really good find. So, well done on that one.
Thank you.
And we're doing the program from here today just because. No particular reason.
Yeah.
It's sort of become Grumpy Old Men on tour, hasn't it? Yeah.
Grumpy old men out and about. What's on where to go?
So very soon it'll be Paris, Barcelona, Tahiti, and Uluru. We'll do the show from the top of Uluru.
Now,
Ayers Rock.
May I take a moment to let the viewers know that I will be leaving...
Viewers?
Yeah, both of them.
Viewer?
Bob and Ed, both of them. I have to do a visa run, so I'm going to go to Cambodia. I've never been to Cambodia. I'm going to go and spend 2 weeks in Cambodia. I have no idea what I'm going to do, but I know a couple guys in Cambodia, and I have to leave the country and come back in.
Sounds dangerous.
So, yeah.
I know a couple of guys in Cambodia. So, okay, you had to leave the country. So Cambodia, obviously next door, very easy to get to. And you go flying to Phnom Penh?
Yeah.
Via Bangkok?
Yeah.
And that's very dangerous as well. You're not leaving the airport?
In Bangkok?
Yeah.
No,
Good.
I don't.
Just
I don't
as
go
well.
in. I don't go in Bangkok or to Bangkok if I can help it. I do not like Bangkok. No.
Really?
Oh, I hate Bangkok. I hate any big city that's not New York City.
Okay. I'm just going to move the camera a little bit just so you're more in frame. It looks a bit like the Tim Newton show at the moment, which is the way it is. Are you okay now?
I'm trapped in a box. Help.
And as I say usually, don't touch the table. All the tables around this place are made out of about 7-inch thick oak. This one's wobbling a bit.
He picked a one table that's not steady in the whole joint.
Of course. So you spent a little bit of time earlier today going to visit the Phang Nga hospital, and I suspect you didn't go there for the architecture.
No, it's a disappointment. If you're an architecture fan, the provincial hospital in Phang Nga is a disappointment. No, I went because I have this unsightly bulge in my groin, which is, it turns out, an inguinal hernia. And it's interesting. I worked in hospitals for 25 years, I guess, in the States. And in the States, you diagnose an inguinal hernia with an ultrasound, right? Here, no. What you do is you have to...
By the way, if you are eating, just put down your knife and fork for a moment.
Yeah. You have the patient stand up, you pull down his pants, and you dig 2 fingers 3 inches into his body, and you find the hole in the peritoneum, and you say, yes, you have an inguinal hernia. Come on the 15th, we'll cut it out on the 16th, you'll go home on the 17th.
No rose or chocolates before?
No dinner and a movie.
No.
Just drop your pants, and here's 2 fingers in the front of your abdomen. But I mean, I could feel his fingers enter my abdominal cavity. So he did find the hernia. He knows what he's doing. He's a young, overworked surgeon. I'd wait 3 hours to get 10 minutes with the surgeon. But once I got in there, he was very professional. He spoke English very well. And I got intimate with the index finger and middle finger of his right hand. And then he wrote on a piece of paper, come back on the 15th. Next.
So you're off to Cambodia, then you come back to go under the knife.
Yes. Yeah.
Is it done with through the little holes, or are they going to cut you open?
Laparoscopic, that's called. I did not even ask, and it did not even occur to me that I didn't ask, and that's very unlike me. I'm really a hypochondriac, and I'm very into not so much health, but medicine. I'm really into modern medicine. And it's
basically you're into drugs.
Well, I'm into those too,
Yeah.
but no, it was my business for 25 years. I listened to physicians 8 hours a day describing their encounters with patients. That's 40,000 hours I spent. 40,000 hours of my life sitting in a cubicle listening to physicians describe their workday. So I'm still into it. But I think the fact that I didn't obsessively, compulsively ask this doctor what technique he'd be using is a good sign. It means Turtle Beach is changing, Steve. It means that I'm not this obsessive compulsive hypochondriac, or 10% less of this obsessive compulsive.
Still a hypochondriac, but
still a hypochondriac.
less compulsive.
Still a hypochondriac.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was very easy, very, very cheap, very comforting. Everybody was very professional, but you had to wait 3 hours. That was it. So I took a book. Turned out to be not a very good book. But I took a book and I read part of it, and I sat there and I looked at my phone and I napped like everybody else. I had a little something to eat, women coming around with baskets full of food, and everybody in the waiting room. You don't want to leave your spot in line to go get food downstairs. So they come around, and they
they got
sell
their
you
slippers
food.
all lined up to the doctor's.
No, everybody was wearing their shoes. But
Do you take a number?
Yes, you're given a number when you come in. Yeah, and you're told, go sit in that line over there. And you sit there, and everybody knows their number.
But I still look.
Yeah, I was number 12, but you don't put the number in your shirt. You don't put it in your purse and say, yeah, I know, I'm number 12. No, everybody sits there clutching their number.
Just in case the number's going to magically change.
Like it's gonna win you a chocolate factory or something.
Yeah.
Everybody sits there grasping in their sweaty hands these numbers. But eventually everybody got in and saw the surgeon.
I'm just going to do a quick sound check here. Just a bit of quiet for a moment. I'm just wondering how much. I'm going to move the fan.
All right.
The only fan we have, Steve.
Come on, you guys. Don't let him think that. say something nice in the comment section, will you?
That'll do. Okay, we're back.
Oh, I like
on
that.
These high chairs. Oh! Yeah. Oh! Make a lot of noise.
The one table in the place that shakes and the two chairs that wobble. And this is what he picked. Yeah.
Of course. So now today we're sort of going to be doing a bit of a potpourri through a book that we've spoken about before called Very Thai. And we're going to see how much, after living a substantial time in Thailand, we actually know about the place we call our home.
Yeah. You've been here 12 years?
12 and a half years.
And I have all told, not counting when I came when I was a child, but as an adult, since the age of 30, I've spent 8 years here. So that's about 20 years combined experience. So this book, Very Thai, is an exhaustive encyclopedia of everything Thai. It's by Philip Cornwell Smith. It is I just shook the table like crazy.
Don't shake the table.
It's a camera in Morocco. Too soon? It is the resource. It's better than Google because you can't trust what's on Google.
And it's about to embarrass
Everything
us.
is in here. So what I want to do is, and this is my idea. If it fails, it's Steve's idea. I'm just going to open this book. I thought 3 times, and to random subjects, and see if you and I know anything about.
So we're about to be
these subjects.
I'm particularly about to be very embarrassed.
No. Everything I know about this country is 30 years old, and I've forgotten half of it in 30 years. So, Steve got it wrong. There's a whole segment we do. All right, you ready?
We're ready.
All right.
Here we go.
I'm going to open it, and it's a random page.
Here we go.
Oh, fortune tellers.
Oh, well done.
Madu. Have you ever been to a fortune teller in Thailand?
No, all I know about fortune tellers is scammers on late night TV and little sort of advertisements in the classifieds in newspapers that don't exist anymore. I have a very low opinion of fortune tellers and the skills that they ply. That's about it from me.
Well, I think I'm no fortune teller, but I can see a bad stinging in Witt's future. His friend is over here. There's a beehive here. They grow bees here. They also grow their own herbs. I assume they use the honey out of the bee. And he's like
stay away from.
He's right on top of that beehive like this, taking a picture in the
Are
front
they
door of
big
the
bees?
beehive. No, they're tiny little bees.
No, they still sting though.
I think they still sting, so I'm no fortune teller.
What do you know about fortune tellers?
Well, I know in the West, I've had my fortune told twice. Once in Memphis, Tennessee by a palmist on Beale Street, and once by an old Swiss gentleman on Phuket in 1989.
Who gave you a palm job?
Read my tarot cards.
Right.
Both of them told me I would be killed by a woman. Both of these people.
Extremely likely.
Yeah, in Memphis in 80, 81, and in Phuket in 89. The only 2 times I've ever had my fortune read, and both of them mentioned, oh, you're going to die when a woman kills you. The woman will be the cause of your death. And I always thought that was my ex-wife. I thought for certain Mem would kill me somehow, either push me down a flight of stairs or poison my food or simply give me so much agita that my heart just seized up and I would die. I was certain it was her. Now I have outlived that relationship, and now I got to be careful about every woman I meet.
Sure.
But in terms of Thailand,
do you actually still have that in the back of your mind, thinking I've got to be worried about women because fortune tellers told me something in the past?
No, I'm superstitious as hell. I believe in talismans. I believe in good luck charms. I don't trust people. So once you put a person in there, if it was a statue of the Buddha or something saying to me, Steve, don't cross the street today, you'll get hit by a bus, I would believe that. But a human being, you put a human being in there, and all of a sudden I'm going, yeah, he's after my money. Yeah, she's a scammer, she's making it up, or she's batshit crazy. I've worked in 2 psychiatric hospitals. I knew plenty of patients in psych hospitals who would tell you your future, and they were absolutely certain they were correct.
So what's your general opinion then of fortune tellers as of now?
Yeah, the fortune,
bullshit or
the future doesn't exist. You can't tell the future because it doesn't exist yet.
There you go.
The only thing that exists is the present. The past is a dim memory, and you're going to remember it wrong. And the future hasn't happened yet, so there's no way of knowing. The only thing that actually is happening is this right now. So no, I don't think that is something that human beings can do. And I tend not to trust a human being who says I can do that. However, here in Thailand, I've never met a Thai person who didn't believe in ghosts and believe in fortune telling.
Exactly.
Yeah, I think now I've never talked to Muslims or Sikhs or Hindus about this. So the 10% of Thailand that is not Buddhist, I don't know. But the 10% of Thailand that is, or the 90% that is Buddhist, who I have talked with about this stuff, they all have very, very firm beliefs in it. Certainly,
and you
my
can't
ex-wife.
you can't discuss the issue with them. It's
You can't ration them out of it. You can't logic them out of it. And my ex-wife, my ex-wife ran her whole life according to what fortune tellers told her, and when she would meditate and she would get visions and she would get ideas when she meditated and things like that.
The last Prime Minister went to a fortune teller before the 2000 the election this year.
Yeah.
So I know the fortune teller got it wrong.
Yeah, it's I know it's very common here, and I'll tell you one experience I've had with it. The only time I've ever gone and paid a Maudu, and I don't know if he was really a Maudu, but I was in Chiang Mai, and when I first came here this trip, I had this amulet. I don't wear it anymore because it's big and clunky. There's a clay Buddha amulet that I found in the Chihuahua Desert in the United States, and I said that it came from a Wat Prata Chonghe in Phra province. And how this thing came from northern Thailand, a little town in northern Thailand, to the middle of the Chihuahua Desert, I don't know. But I carried that thing for 5 years and swore the first thing I would do when I came back to Thailand was go up to Phra and make a little merit, just chanting about Asa in this temple where this thing came from. So I come to Bangkok, and I'm still jet lagged, and I go north, and I go to Phra. And I go there, and I have this epiphany, I have this moment in the temple, and I come back down, and I'm coming, I had always intended to come south, and so I was coming back south, and I come through Chiang Mai. And outside the city walls in Chiang Mai, there's a bunch of guys sitting on the bricks, much like these bricks, selling amulets. And I knew nothing about this amulet except it came from Wat Pratat Chohe. And so I took it to an amulet dealer, one of these old guys squatting on the bricks. And I said, "Excuse me, can you tell me what this is?" Which I can say in Thai with very good tones, which makes people think that I speak more Thai than I do, and I understand more Thai than I do. So this guy looks at this and he goes, "Oh, hey, ni samkhan mak. This is very important." Which, of course, whatever it is, he's going to tell you it's very important, right? So I'm going, yeah.
Gave him a cigarette lighter, he would have said the same thing.
Yes, exactly.
Right.
And so he starts into this spiel, and he's very earnest, and he's very sincere, and there's, and I'm not going to say, "Raina, what? My kautai, pucha cha noi kap, kotot kap purankrit, dai mai." I'm just like, okay, well, when he stops talking, I'm going to give him 50 baht and run away. And I start to look around, and there's a crowd gathering. Because here's this big fat Farang hunched over this squatting little man who's obviously a Yoda. I mean, he's got, tattoos, and he's got rings, he's got 100 amulets, and he's got a blanket with all these old amulets. He's obviously a character out of the parking lot at a Grateful Dead concert. And we're a tableau, we're a scene, and there are Japanese tourists and Thai people and tuk-tuk drivers, and we've got like a crowd, so now I can't run away. And he's going on and on. And finally, I didn't bring the duck. I'm sorry. All right, so the kicker is he finally pauses, and he's holding on to this thing, and it's around my neck. I can't really get away.
I know how he feels.
Come on. I'd be done by now if you didn't interrupt me. So at any rate, he paused, and I found a moment, and I straightened up, and you could hear my back all over town going crack, crack, crack. So I straightened up, and I took 100 baht out of my pocket, and I gave it to the guy. And the look on his face was like, "Well, you cheap son of a bitch, 100 baht for everything I told you about your future?" And he just gave me this really dirty look, and I thought, oh, he's cursing me right now. He's shaking chicken bones behind his back, and he's cursing me for being a cheapskate. So the whole thing, the one and only time I ever went to a Madu, it was a complete bust, and he probably cursed me for life.
So when Thai people go to fortune tellers, are they getting the tarot cards out, or are they sort of reading the entrails of a Himalayan ox? Or
all I've ever seen is what you see on the streets. I've never gone into a parlor or whatever. I've only ever witnessed it on the streets, on the sidewalks.
Are they placing their hand on their head or something and whoa?
No, I think there is some palm reading. I've seen them looking at palms. There are stones, runes that look like what are they called? Dominoes, and they're white, and they have spots on them, and they'll cast the bones.
Oh, okay.
They have these sticks, that you shake, and the stick falls out.
Yep.
And they have a bunch of props. I've never seen tarot cards, but then again, I haven't really looked at it. What we should do is, I'll tell you what, I will read the chapter on Madhu in this book.
And then we'll bring you up to date.
And next week
the real thing.
Bring you up to date. Yes, we will.
Not our version of it.
You want another subject?
Sure. Well, from me, fortune tellers are bullshit. From you,
who knows? It's not for me.
Yeah, well,
but if that's your deal, like I said, I'm superstitious as hell.
If you get comfort from
I'll never take this off.
Good for you. Well,
yeah.
There you go.
I light incense. I chant Namodasa every morning to a Buddha that was in my apartment when I moved in. I have no idea what the history is of this Buddha. It could be cursed for all. It's Burmese. It's not even Thai. It's a wooden Burmese Buddha.
The only customers that were here have now left. All right, just in the process of leaving.
Yeah. Well, but there was 8 of them.
Yes.
Yeah. I mean, Thais, the idea of 2 Thais eating together, unless you're planning a hit, unless you're planning to whack a competitor, 2 Thais don't do anything except make babies. And men and women don't do anything together except make babies. You can get a group of women, a group of men. Everything's done in a big group.
Let's try another topic.
All right. Drum roll.
Spin it around. Turn it around. There you go. Here we go.
All right, we're going to mix up the
Wobble
topics.
the table. There we go. Wobble the table.
Mix up the topics. And the winner is, Muay Thai.
Are you cut things out?
Oh, yeah. Oh, the photos are beautiful. I've cut out pictures of modern art and hung them on a set, on a Bungtong set.
Oh, really?
I did a Haiso matron's bedroom, and I needed modern art. So I cut out
fortune telling in Muay Thai doesn't get it much more Thai culture than that.
It's pretty Thai. So what do you know about Muay Thai?
I've been to about 3 Muay Thai matches, all in Phuket. I've been to a gym to see fitness instructors ripping Phang Nga, taking all their money, teaching them basic Muay Thai, and they think they're getting fit. So, generally, when you go to Muay Thai, there's a lot of preamble, there's a lot of foreplay, and they're sort of praying, and it goes on and on. I thought, I'll just start kicking the shit out of him, otherwise I'm going to get bored. And it just sort of just goes on, and there's all this preamble, and the Thais, they're scrolling through their Facebook or yakking to each other.
Well, they're supposed to be betting. That time is the betting. That's when you place your bets.
There's a lot of gambling going on.
And they're showing you, it's like when they parade the horses around a racetrack, so the bettors can see the horses. All of this, and all of the paying respect to your teachers and paying respect to the gods, is showing off the fighter and his how limber is he, how strong is he wobbling at all on one knee when he balances on one knee?
He goes north, south, east, and west, and it just goes on and on.
Because the audience is 360 degrees. You got to show off your pecs to the whole crowd, And eventually, so that's what that time is.
They start fighting, and Muay Thai is pretty violent. It's not just boxing. They've got the foot and the knee, and they just kick the crap out of each other. Yeah. I'm not really into these sports at all. I don't really like to see violence turned into a sport. Well, here we go with the comments. So, what are they going to call me? Woke. I'll be called woke. There we go. So I just do not like seeing adults, be they men or women, fighting each other. However, I do understand it has been the opportunity for a lot of young Thais to get ahead in life by going into this Muay Thai profession. I think there's a lot of young Thais that are taken advantage of, and I've done quite a few stories about that. But I have endured 3 matches, basically going because I was invited, and I appreciate that it is deep in Thai culture, and that's about it.
It is also, well, first of all, like soccer, Muay Thai is taught in the schools. It's a sport that you can teach children without investing in a ton of equipment. In America, to teach basketball, you need an enclosed, air-conditioned, or heated indoor environment. Football, you need pads, you need cleats on your shoes, you need all kinds of stuff. Soccer or football, you need one ball. That's it, in a big empty field. Boxing, you need two kids who don't like each other very much, and that's your physical education in school. But also, there are professional child boxers in this country. There's a wonderful movie called Buffalo Girls about two 9-year-old professional female Muay Thai fighters who are going up for the title bout, and they're training, and their fathers, who are their coaches, of course, are pushing them and abusing them and pushing them, what we would call in the West abusing 9-year-old girls, and then they're pushed into a ring and told to beat the living crap out of each other. And all this betting goes on, and all the adults are making or losing thousands and thousands of baht. The little girls, all they're doing, all they get out of it is the satisfaction of obeying their father, which here is a big deal, right? Kreng Jai, we talked about Kreng Jai last week. To show respect, to show obeisance, to demonstrate you know your place is very important, particularly for little girls. Little girls are the bottom of society, and they're the ones who bear the greatest burden of Kreng Jai, because they have to Kreng Jai every human being they meet. Everybody, even a child her own age, if he's male, she has to Kreng Jai that child. So putting these little girls in professional bouts like this, and they get nothing out of it except demonstrating Kreng Jai, I think is pretty inhumane.
So you've seen the movie. Have you seen a real match?
Not between children, but I went to a couple in Lumpini in Bangkok when I first, 88. It's not for me. First of all, crowds. I hate crowds. I hate sports. I don't get sports. I'm sorry. If you're a big sports fan, good for you. Go. I like the American musical theater. I don't like sports. Sue me. And so I went because it's something expected.
You're so woke.
I know. Yeah, I am woke. I'm left of Lenin, baby. You don't like that. You know what you can do. But I went, I went to the floating market. I went to the Grand Palace. I went to Wat Phra. I did all that. I went to Soy Cowboy and Nana and Pat Pong. I did all that crap and said, boy, I hate this city. And left and never really went back except to fly through. All right. We ready for a third?
Ready for a third.
So I think we both the two personal thumb downs for Muay Thai, but if that's your shizzle.
Yeah, tell us your experience
on,
with Muay Thai. Did you come and do it as a fitness thing when you were traveling to Thailand? Did you go to a Muay Thai match? What did you think?
Yeah.
Here we go.
And, all right, so I'm opening earlier in the blue pipes and tangled wires.
Oh, great. These are really good topics you
chose. I'll tell you what, Philip Cornwell Smith.
We chose these completely at random.
Yeah, you just watched me. Blue pipes, which are those PVC plumbing pipes, which you can make virtually anything out of.
I've just been renovating a house. I know all about blue pipes.
Yeah, and the tangled wires, which is two different subjects. I'll just go ahead and launch on the tangled wires.
I can't imagine stopping you for a moment.
Right? I didn't bring the duck.
Tangled wires.
The tangled wires, for the most part, are fiber optic. They're communication. All the electricity is up above. The electricity is in the top, and the electricity is not all tangled up and wrapped around.
Fiber optics and cable TV and stuff.
Yeah, communications. And it's all tangled like that because they'll string a wire to someone's house or someone's business, and then that person will buy a different service, or they'll move out or whatever, and that wire's just dead. And rather than go through and try to pick that wire out of all the thingies.
That's Aunt Doris.
They just leave it up there. And eventually it'll break and fall down and
it's
whatever.
Not as if they're so tangled. It's just there's so many of them.
There's so many of them,
They usually neatly coil them. And
they start life neatly coiled. Yes, they do. And eventually, as the years go by, they get rats' nests in them and birds' nests in them, and some break, and then some guy goes up there and he strings a new wire and he accidentally cuts this one or whatever. But I don't think, until the whole world goes completely wireless, I don't think we'll get rid of them. And even then, I mean, who's going to pay people to go up and pull down millions of miles of thin cable.
They've been doing it in Bangkok slowly. I know during the last 4 or 5 years,
All right.
every year there was talk of we're going to be doing another 3 or 4 kilometres down this random road, and slowly putting them underground. But because Bangkok is it's sort of built on a swamp, they dig down a couple of feet and it's just
mud.
So it's a real problem getting all these cables, which electricity and communications cables don't usually go well underwater.
Yeah. Well, the funny thing, Patong Beach, Soi Bangla, the whole thing wiped out by a tsunami, and they were given billions of dollars to rebuild, and they didn't put the cables under the ground. They just put the cables...
Left them there.
They put new ones up there. They put in new poles and they put new wires up there rather than burying.
You know who made it famous? About 2 years ago, I'm thinking, an Instagram post by an Australian stroke New Zealand actor, Russell Crowe.
Huh.
He did a post about the wires, the crazy black wires. And the tourism authority said, thank you very much. It's been fantastic publicity and people are coming to Bangkok to take photos of the cables. And Russell Crowe did this deal with the Tourism Authority of Thailand just based on this random post. I don't think he was necessarily complimenting them. But
where's my deal, TAT?
There was a very prominent corner on Asok Road. The first main intersection after you come up Asok Road, Asok Montree Road from the BTS, heading west. No, heading east.
I am unfamiliar with any of those reference points.
So there was a particularly prominent corner, and people, you'd see them during the day, they'd be going to this corner just to get photos of the cables. So that's the black cables. Blue pipes.
Well, I know blue pipes, from theater construction. You can make they're like Tinker Toys. You plug them together, you can make anything. So in the theater, we used blue pipe to build sets. My son used blue pipe to construct his Eagle Scout project when he was in Boy Scouts.
Blue PVC pipes of various sizes.
Yeah.
If my favourite store in Phuket is called Thai What To Do, which is a hardware store. Love going there. And there's a whole 2 full rows out of the entire place, which is just different sizes of blue pipe and different ways you can fix them together.
Yeah, 3-way, 2-way, 4-way.
It's like sort of Lego.
Yeah.
But it's...
Tinker Toys.
The whole Thai plumbing is built around these blue pipes.
Well, America too now, yeah.
So,
any
no
metal,
copper.
Any metal pipe is going to come back and bite you in the ass in 50 years. So, plastic.
And and it's joined together by this blue goo, which is very pungent, potent smell. I don't think it's very good for you. Don't get any ideas. And they use this blue goo to join it all together, and it's meant to be waterproof. I've just had, I think, several kilometres of blue pipe put in my renovations because it's got a, what do you call it? A sewage,
septic tank.
Septic tank underneath. But apart from that, all the water coming out of the kitchen sink and the any just general stormwater and stuff was just flowing out into the garden randomly. So we've been digging all these great big pits and putting proper blue pipe everywhere. So that's the blue pipes. In Thailand, anything can be fixed with blue pipe.
Yeah. Oh, they're wonderful. I'm still building sets with the theatrical rigging over the Boontong set is made out of the blue pipe. What is the derivation? Isn't there an expression in Australia for Americans? Seppos?
Yeah, septic tanks.
Yeah.
Yanks.
Yeah, septic tanks. So, yeah.
Yeah, we
Plumbing.
have all this rhyming slang. So septic tanks are Yanks, which are
Seppos.
sort of... We should be Southern Americans, but we just use it for all Americans.
Northern. Yeah, Yankee means northern.
Okay. So,
New York Yankees. You see all these baseball caps with the NY on them? None of those people has ever seen a baseball game. None of them. Not a single one of them's ever seen a baseball game.
I'm trying to think of other rhyming slang we have in Australia. 12 years away from the country, I've forgotten all the rhyming slang. What they call the wife? The grief and strife is the wife. The dog and bone is the phone. I think it all came from Cockney English years ago, but we certainly put our own spin on it over the years.
Yeah.
You don't care. You don't want to know
we
anything
don't
about
have it.
Australian culture.
No, I got your rhyming slang righty. That's what we've got in America.
So there you go. That's about it. I've had enough. Do you want to do one more? I've got a quick one.
We can,
I am
sure.
amazed that we've picked such good topics randomly.
All the topics. There's like 130 or something topics. Oh, I cut a picture out of the table of contents so you can't see it.
Just go a bit further down the back.
Yeah.
So something a bit more... further down the back.
All right.
Just
we'll go
randomly
all the way in the
down
back.
the back.
They're always random.
Wobble, wobble, wobble.
Oh, this looks crazy. What is this? Well, mediums and shamans.
Oh, we sort of
did
done
that.
Yeah,
What's the
yeah.
one right before mediums and shamans? Oh, that's Maudu again.
Okay, go further down the back. No, whoop. They're all ghost stories.
Ghost stories. We did that once, didn't we? We did ghost stories.
I've got a funny story about ghost story. Well, not really. Last week we were looking at, I've been spending the last as we wobble the table.
Don't touch the table.
We've been walking, we've got...
Order your Don't Touch the Table t-shirt today.
It's going to say, don't touch the fucking table.
Steve.
Seppo. So we have been looking around.
It's the fifth Marx Brothers, Seppo. Go on, I'm sorry.
Other properties, because we've got these two beach houses and they look great. The idea is I'm going to be living in one and renting out the other. By the way, there's a link in the description if you'd like a couple of days in a beautiful...
They're really nice. I've seen them. They're really nice.
And the garden's coming along very nicely out the back as well. All nicely plumbed with blue pipe, but you won't see that. And we have been looking for other places to sort of actually live. Well, going to one of the places the other day, I've had this translator coming with me. And I said, oh, this looks quite nice. And they came in and they said, oh, no, we can't go in there. There are two... children there who died at birth and they're asking to be fed.
Oh, hungry ghosts.
And I sort of went in there and went, I can't see anything. Oh, no, they're there. They're sitting at the table. And they were absolutely... They weren't like winding me up or seeing any sense of irony or... They saw in their mind these two children ghosts who were waiting to be fed. And there wasn't a single chance in hell that they would go anywhere near this place or let me entertain the idea of living in it. So
I want to know where this is. Where is this? Show it to me.
I'll show it to you.
Oh, I'd love to see that. I would love to see that.
Well, there was nothing to see.
Well, I know.
In their
but
mind,
that nothing.
It was there.
That's exactly the sort of stuff that I look for in Thai Muang, in Turtle Beach. That intimate local stuff that if you came and you spent a week at the boutique hotel and you saw the beach and you saw the hot springs and you saw the Chinese temple, this is the stuff I want to get to.
It's just an empty house.
Yeah.
And I said to them, how long has this been empty? And they said, oh, quite a long time. I'm thinking... what's going on here?
No.
But I'm not allowed to even entertain fitting out that place and look.
There is nothing more powerful than an idea.
Oh, my God.
And the idea that this is a haunted house. Here's a Phang with money in his hand who wants to rent that building. But no, there are two child ghosts in this, infant ghosts. Hungry ghosts and no, obviously we can't rent it to you. That's a really powerful thing, that idea.
Sure.
It has overcome the temptation of money. After 3 years of COVID and a soft high season, here's a guy with money and new ghosts are more important. Man, that's fascinating.
So that's my
really interesting.
That's my ghost story. I'll show you the place on the way back. What's your ghost story?
I don't have any ghost stories. But my mom saw two dog angels.
Dog angels.
My mother, we lived in a house in Iowa that was kind of on the top of a hill and it had 3 streets. It was an intersection of a 3-way intersection. And you could see in, 100 yards down all 3 streets. So you could see from our front door the whole neighborhood, right?
That's about 95 meters.
Yeah. So Mom used to have this dog named Mitzi, this beautiful little black Sheltie. And Mitzi was a dear. Mitzi was a great dog. She was like 20 years old finally and all gray and blind and deaf and everything. And one day, Mitzi's barking at the front door, barking, and Mom goes and opens the front door, and Mitzi runs out, and there's two snow white, groomed, standard poodles on our front lawn. And standard poodles are about 3-4 feet high.
Big.
These are big damn dogs.
Yeah.
Two of them, perfectly groomed, pure white. And Mitzi runs out to these, Mitzi runs out to these two big dogs and sits nose to nose with them. And my mom was terrified because they're hunting dogs. Poodles have very bad dispositions. And she was afraid they're going to attack Mitzi. So she runs out there. She gathers up Mitzi in her arms. She runs back inside the house. And she turns around, and these dogs are gone. They've disappeared. And she can see 100 yards down all 3 streets. There's nowhere for these dogs to go. They've disappeared in the time it took her to pick up her dog and run back in the house.
Did you see them?
No. I was living in Memphis at this time. And so the next day, the Culligan man comes to change the soft water. He rings the doorbell. Bing bong. Mitzi runs barking to the door. Falls over dead. Dies right there. Boom. The very next day. So, and imagine that poor Culligan man. You're just doing your job. You're ringing doorbells. This door flies open. Here's this woman clutching the dead dog, and she's weeping and crying and screaming, "You killed my dog." But Mom is convinced to this day, and I don't distrust her. I believe her, that she saw that 2 doggy angels came to tell Mitzi her time was up.
Okay.
That's my only ghost story. I'm sorry.
All right. So, look, along with everything else we've spoken about today, tell us your experiences.
Yeah.
I'm sort of thinking that these days everybody's walking around with a phone. If there were ghosts and people were able to see them, then our phone should be able to see them. And nobody seems to be taking photos of ghosts. Even
Go figure.
With Photoshop,
Yeah.
we're not seeing many. It's
Or Bigfoot or Nessie.
UFOs. Where are they? The more
Yeah.
we get these iPhones and other sort of phones that are walking around with us all the time, the less we're seeing of these creatures.
Yeah. Honestly, if you need to call a congressional subcommittee to examine 50 years of evidence, there's no evidence. If there were aliens coming, we'd know. They'd be zapping us, and we'd know. We'd see them. So.
And why do they always seem to land in the cornfields of poor Iowans? And
what's wrong with Iowa? What do the Martians have against Iowa? Go Hawks.
Apparently, they like spending a lot of time there, annoying farmers and examining them. Apparently, sometimes through the rectum.
Well, yeah. Now, a lot of that goes on in Iowa anyway. So,
Just
who knows?
grist for the mill. And
more
with that,
pigs than people in my state.
And if we have a look in that book, there might even be a chapter about those sort of examinations. I don't know. But it is a great book. Do you just want to tell us about it once more? We're not getting any commission.
No. I just love Philip's work. This is an act of scholarship that is... He should get a PhD from Chula for this if he hasn't already. Shake the table. There are 2. Very Thai, very Bangkok. And they are encyclopedic, and they're wonderful, and they're 100 times better than Google.
And there's photos in there that you can cut out.
There are photos. If you're building sets, for buntongs, you can cut out photos. I don't think he would mind. Where else am I going to get tiny little replicas of modern Thai art on Turtle Beach? Where else am I going to find it? So I cut the book up a little bit.
And it's literally available at good bookstores everywhere. Every time I go into a bookstore, that's always on the shelf.
It's gorgeous. It's a gorgeous. They're 2 very gorgeous books. Yeah.
So thank you. We've come to you today from
076 in Ampa, Thai Muang, Changwat Phang Nga.
About 2 k's down the road heading towards Khao Lak. You'll need your Google machine to find it because it's off the main road. You sort of have to...
076. It's the
really
phone
good.
code. It's the phone code here.
Very worth visiting. And thank you very much for coming. I suppose I'm paying for lunch.
You don't have to. I'll pay this time. I'll pay. Yeah. History is made here, folks. Tell your grandchildren you were there the day Steve Ross bought a lunch.
So thanks to the bees who have been behaving. Thanks to the staff who forgot your order.
They did.
And thank you.
And thank you, Tim. Thank you. I really appreciate this. This is great fun every time.
How's your channel going, by the way?
Oh, for a 65-year-old man who plays with dolls, it's going great. I have 4,000 subscribers.
Well, you catching up to me.
I get about not nearly. I get about 6,000 views on a good video.
Well, that's excellent. You're going to
well,
start
thank
making
you.
a few shekels.
There are some monies dribbling in, and as soon as I asked everybody to stop making contributions to my PayPal,
They did.
They did. I haven't had a contribution in 2 weeks. I haven't had any
dear.
money come to my PayPal in 2
what a
weeks.
shame.
So it is what it is. I don't do it for the money. My government pays me specifically not to have a job, so I don't do it for. It's just fun. It's all of this. It's just fun. That's all.
And we've been very happy to have you with us over the
Yes.
past.
Thank you.
43 minutes.
Thank you.
So the link to Steve's channel is in the description below, as is a link to my new Airbnb, because God knows I'm going to milk this channel for every single person I can get.
It has a name. It's not my new Airbnb. What it's called?
Well, the first one's called Bonneville.
Bonneville. That's it.
Bonneville. And the reason will become immediately apparent when you walk through the door.
Yeah.
And what was I going to say about that?
He's reconditioning an engine in the living room. That's why it's Bonneville.
But it's been good fun. I'm looking forward to. I'll be living in Thai Muang permanently in about 2 weeks' time. The last couple of weeks has been a little bit inconvenient. Well, no, the last couple of days, because the old lady, the grandma next door, very inconveniently died, and they've set up a
funeral.
Ngansop at the front. So if you were staying at Bonneville at the moment, you would see nothing.
But there'd be free food 24/7 right next door. Yeah.
And loud
Good.
music.
Loud music, a bunch of people you don't know, but they'd be very happy to feed you, and it'd be the best Thai food. Weddings, funerals, and anything at the temple. That's the best Thai food. They put the most love and care and best ingredients into what they tambun with.
And we're going to definitely talk about funerals next time.
Yeah.
Good, very interesting topic.
Yeah. God willing, we're still here.
Sure. Thank you.
Thank you, Tim. I appreciate it.
Thank you, and we'll see you next time.
I love you guys. Thank you very much.